Imagine a woman decides to shoot a man and really gets absolutely no penalty. Well, once again, the man was unsheltered. Let's put up the picture full mass here. Oh my goodness, she's just so distraught. In a case going back 5 years, a woman was sentenced to nothing but probation for shooting an unsheltered, unhoused man. 32-year-old Katie Quackenbush, that's a real name, Quackenbush, was sentenced to 11 months, okay? 11 months and 29 days of supervised probation after shooting a 59-year-old Gerald Melton, a human being, an unhoused man in Nashville back in 2017. During her Thursday sentencing, Quackenbush apologized to the victim, but also reportedly played the victim. She just couldn't help herself. Quackenbush, in her mugshot following the 2017 shooting, looks like a smirk is on her face. Quackenbush, who now lives in Texas, will serve her time there and have to make virtual reports. Oh goodness, she has to go on Zoom. Authorities will also monitor her criminal record. Let's put up a picture of the human being she shot, the valuable person she shot. Gerald Melton, a skilled guitar player, was shot by this woman near Nashville's Music Row on August 26th of that year. Melton had to have at least 3 surgeries because of the shooting. Quackenbush argued that she was in fear of Melton and only tried to scare him off, but prosecutors said witness testimony disproved that narrative. Let's go to the assistant DA who prosecuted the case. Davidson County Assistant DA Amy Hunter said, and I quote, "The only thing unusual in this situation was her behavior and how the defendant reacted in this particular situation to the words that Mr. Melton was saying." Hunter continued to say, and I quote, "We heard from an eyewitness who was feet away from the defendant when this happened, who said she was not frightened by Mr. Melton, that she did not take his words seriously, that the only person who was dangerous in the situation was the defendant." Details of what actually happened. Detectives say that Melton, okay, was trying to sleep on the sidewalk at about 3 a.m., trying to get some rest, when he became disturbed by exhaust fumes and loud music coming from her Porsche SUV. When Melton posed the question for her to move, an argument ensued, and Quackenbush got out of her vehicle with a gun and fired 2 shots at him. One struck him in the abdomen. Quackenbush, police said, fled the scene. Put a picture back up. She receives no jail time. Nothing. Unsupervised probation. You realize if you get a traffic ticket, you can have supervised probation in many states. She gets none. She gets to go to another state. Check in via Zoom. Why? Is it the complexion of protection? Maybe coupled with the fact that this government does not recognize people as human beings when they don't have a particular perceived status in the United States? Quackenbush also had a history with troublesome behavior. We got it. Such as threatening to hurt an infant with a brick, threatening her own mama, and also pouring water on a waiter at a restaurant, authorities reportedly said. This woman has been getting away with criminal conduct from her family to the community, and that, what you are aware of today, is attempted damn murder. Pure and simple. She got out of her car, shot the man, left the scene. If you believe you are acting in self-defense, you remain at the scene, you care about the life, and you call 911. But it never was a threat. There was no threat here. How in the hell did this happen? All right, David, thoughts, man?
There's another example. We do not have equal justice in the United States. Justice depends on your race. Justice depends on your socioeconomic status. Imagine if a person who was living on the street had been frightened by what Miss Quackenbush did and pulled out a gun and shot her. Do we think that person who was living on the street, you think they would get off with just probation and just sort of a warning? No, of course not. They would be sent to jail, and society would lock that person up for the rest of their life. But because she has a name like Quackenbush, because she has a Porsche SUV, she gets to play the, oh, I'm above this system of justice, and just, sure, I'll check in with you from Texas every now and then. And it's just, people like to say, oh no, the justice system in the United States is equal. It's not, and you don't have to look very far to discover that.
And that's the reality. We fight for equity in the system. We fight for fairness in the construct because it doesn't exist presently.